Jesus Christ. Dude. My computer's actually killing itself. This is my computer. Dude, what the fuck did I do to it? Oh, this is gonna be such a scuffed.
I could do the PowerPoint. I just don't have Python up and running.
Okay.
Testing,
We
1,
can do
2,
a
3.
swap
Let's see
over.
if I can hear myself.
So I'll take all of like 3 minutes to actually, I don't know, explain. Oh, dude, this is crazy. This feels slightly daunting.
Okay. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, it's working good.
Cool.
The stream appears to be working good.
Sweet.
It can hear both of what we're saying, by the way.
Oh, breezy.
So.
That's good to know that I'm live.
Wait, yeah, you're live.
That's lovely.
Hold on. You can just turn it back on when you're ready to go. It's at power. It's got the power symbol. Hold it down, it'll go green when we turn it back on.
Oh yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. Cool.
My laptop's decided it doesn't want to play nice today. Well, it will, but it just flickers out of nowhere. So.
Yeah. Is that all good?
We're just going to use it when we're doing the demo and everything else.
Let's up the PowerPoint.
Yeah, we'll just do the PowerPoint.
Oh yeah, Roger's got it on his computer. Hello. Got some pizza. Have we got plenty of pizza? Everyone got some? Use these ones for the actual room.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But these are just for the live stream.
That's kind of what it's meant to do.
Do we want the lights are fine, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like 40 minutes.
See, I don't think for 40 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know how I'm meant to make it 40 minutes. But we don't
Pardon?
Have,
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
we don't have
All
like,
good.
the IMC people, so that will shorten it pretty significantly.
No, that's fine. Like 5 minutes difference. Yeah. Testing on the loud microphone.
No.
And then we'll get maybe one of these too.
Easy. Can go up front. Easier that way.
Did you upload the PowerPoint to the GitHub?
I'll do that
It's
now.
in the private.
Oh, okay.
You already put it in there, didn't you?
Yeah.
You've got the private one, don't you? On this computer? Yeah, cool.
Oh, finally got it done. Talk about pain.
Where is it at?
Documentation. No, PPTX. Oh, launch, sorry. Launch, yeah. My bad. Just download it. Download it and then run it. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, grab some pizza. No drinks, unfortunately. Pizza only. Yeah.
Just say you're broke. It's okay, man.
Yep, that's good.
Can't afford a Windows Office 365 Windows key.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's cool. Uni gives you a free account. Or you're in Linux.
I do. And then my account doesn't work for some reason. So.
What's wrong with your thing? Don't work.
Just not. Yeah, I don't know. I was like on the stuff, just moving around, and like I don't know.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay, it's ready.
This is good. USB-C it in.
Cool. And I just got the VS Code ready, so we can
Yeah.
do a little simulation. Breezy.
Yep. You guys good for that? Mics and everything should be going. I'll get the What's this? What's this? The demo.
Yeah.
That's fine. Or you can do it on yours if it's fine. I did a demo. I ran the demo program.
Cool.
Yeah. I'll get the lights also. Maybe one on the front here. Where are we? Which is this? What the heck is this? What's that? That's not on us. Which one's us? Are we stage? Stage, medium? Just so we can see your lovely faces in the video. I'll see if that looks fine on the stream. On the other camera. Yeah, I can see you guys way better. Yeah, that looks good. You just have to wait a sec.
Look at that shit, dude. Look what I'm doing on the computer. It's just black screen out of nowhere. This is so good. Yeah, it's just kind of black screen. Yeah, it's going to turn this star price. Oh, yeah, it's good. Dude, this is my computer. This is going to keep glitching. It's so embarrassing. No, just kidding. I think it glitches. string coming. Yeah. Just pull it up and go.
They went off when you turn on the monitor. Yeah.
Does everyone have pizza? Oh, good. Get pizza if you haven't had it.
Testing. No, not on. Testing, testing. Is this on? You understand how this works? Testing. Alright, let's like speak into this one.
Here.
There we go.
Okay, cool.
Cool. Yeah, Max. We
Yeah.
can start.
Yeah. You can click the microphones thing and turn your, like, down one up a bit.
This one?
Oh, no, not that. Like, on the display
Yeah. Okay.
for the console.
Like turn mine. Well, let me try this one. This works?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good.
Okay, cool. All right, thank you for waiting, everybody. Welcome to 2025 UQ FinTech's AlgoJam, brought to you by IMC. So I'm going to go over the event overview. I swear there's a slide missing, but oh well. That's embarrassing. So we're just gonna. Hello? Okay, doesn't look like the screen's working. We need to get LibreOffice working. My computer's balked. Whoops. Sorry to anyone at home, having some technical difficulties on the side here. All right. Yeah, it's like my screen keeps glitching. Yeah, where are these slides? Where are they? Oh, what? Yeah. Did you download it from here? AlgoJam private.
Yeah, I did.
What the hell?
Really?
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, let's do this one more time.
No, that's the latest because I've got it.
Yeah, it's just, mine must have been outdated. All right, here we go. Working
Just go with what we got.
for real this time. So yeah, welcome. And, okay, boom. Sponsored by IMC, a great, quant trading firm. If you are wanting to apply for their internships for their trading or software engineering roles, please go ahead and scan there. It'll take you to their website. And yeah, you can apply for that. Otherwise, let's start with the data release. So we've got a bunch of different sort of commodities, like stocks that you can trade with. And so we're going to start with UQ dollar here. And what this is round one of data. And you should expect the second round of data that you'll work with when you submit to be similar, but not exactly the same. So you're sort of meant to look into the trends here and look about how you could sell and buy in a way that is profitable for you. So you can see this one sort of shifts up and down pretty significantly. It's a bit noisy, but if you can figure out what the pattern is there, you're pretty good to go. Otherwise, then we've got dog food here, and sort of more like a standard, stock sort of goes up, goes down, has a big rise. And otherwise, on to the next one. Same with FinTech token here. It's going down, so figure out what to do about that. And then we have our fried chicken. And so with fried chicken, it's kind of cool because it is based off two other commodities called raw chicken and secret spices. Because to make fried chicken, you need these two.
And so you can use these two, and also you can just buy these two commodities, and you can figure out how that could also affect the fried chicken pricing. Should be pretty fun. Otherwise, we've got Goober Eats. Again, another pretty noisy one, so good luck there. And then we got the Quantum Universal Algorithm Currency Coin. It has a lot of peaks and troughs, pretty standard. And then Purple Elixir. And then we got a new one, Rare Watch, that goes on more of a curvature, so that will be pretty fun to sort of play around with. And watch out for those massive drops. Cool. So, if that's the case, I will walk you guys through the GitHub, which, can I get that up on your screen, Roger, or just like the GitHub website? I'll let you do that. So if you go onto our website right now, if you guys are a bit keen, you might have seen that we've already posted the, the GitHub data and sort of a algorithm and simulation. So just get, yes, the public one, yeah, perfect. So you can see we've got, we'll just go in the trader interface down here. You good? Oh, you can't see. And we are definitely rehearsed for this one. That's a great question. Is everyone having a good day or good week? How's uni going? Midterms, yeah. It's a bit of a bummer. Trader interface. It's just right there. You're on it. That's a question. Has anyone been here before, done this before, like last year, or? Yeah, sick. You might see some similarities, but instead it's not the same exactly. Oh, we got it? Cool.
Just turn the lights down so I can
Yeah,
see it better.
true, yeah. This is...
Those should be a bit more. Let's see what these lights will do.
Yeah, that's way brighter. Oh, perfect.
Whoa.
All right, mood lighting now.
We'll see if we can get a bit better lighting. How's that look better?
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Is that visible?
Yeah, how's it look,
Yeah.
guys, on your end? Is that pretty easy?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Would you like to just go through your document that you made as well? What document? Oh, like the one through the summary.
Oh
Like the
yeah,
summary
summary
document?
sheet. Yeah, bring that. That'd be
And you
good.
can you can go over that on the PDF.
Yeah. Yeah, we could load that up first, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can go over that. You can go start to finish, and you can read over this one.
Yeah.
Chuck,
Easy.
I'll give this one to Roger, and I'll
Yeah,
get
cool.
this back later.
No swear.
And put this on you.
I've already done this though.
There you go.
Rightio.
You can read through like your strategies and stuff for him.
Okay, we're gonna return back to our instruments for a bit of some motivating stories. Here we've got the UQ dollar. It's a digital currency at UQ. So you're allowed to use the UQ dollar to purchase goods and services at our campus. The price of this is going to be very, very stable. As you can see, it's like around $100. It might fluctuate, give or take, depending on different university events, enrollment cycles, academic activities, and whatnot. A bit more about dog food. It's a very unpredictable but fascinating instrument. There's not too much to say about this one. We have UQ Fintech's token. So it mimics the behavior of cryptocurrency with an unpredictable twist. Sometimes it behaves very stably, so it maintains consistent value. Sometimes it'll just go up, go down, a random walk. We have fried chicken. So fried chicken is our most complex, most multifaceted product that we have here. It's going to be derived from, as Lewis said before, 2 different instruments. So when you're trading this, make sure to, I don't want to give anything away, but I think the price of raw chicken is going to be heavily tied to the following 2. So we have raw chicken here, and we have secret spices. So make sure you prod around, do some statistical analysis, mathematical analysis, until you find some patterns, because it is easy. It's not easy, sorry. It is possible to use the prices of secret spices and raw chicken to predict cooked chicken, fried chicken, sorry. We got returning Goober Eats. There is going to be a little bit of interaction between Goober Eats and fried chicken, but not so heavily, I believe. We have the quantum universal algorithmic currency coin. This is very similar to the fintech token. It's got stable periods, it's got unstable periods, so watch out for that. Purple Elixir again. This is inspired by one of my favorite mobile games. It's very unpredictable, so watch out for the spikes, watch out for the dips. And finally, we got Rare Watches. Rare Watch is going to be new this year. I made this one because I wanted to mix it up a little bit, so this is going to be a very curvy one. As you can see, it resembles some of the functions you may have seen in your maths classes. And then, yeah, instead of traditional noise really quickly up and down, you're going to have some very rare, extremely big dips. So you'll have to watch out for that when you're trading that. That's going to be all.
Yep, I'll go through some stuff. I covered everything you want to cover?
Yes, that's
Sounds
it.
spec, yeah.
Good.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Am I this one or the other one? Maybe this one. Yeah, this one's me. Yeah. All right, I'll go over a couple of things. Oh yeah, there's just like a little thing. Don't worry about it. We'll find it after. So hopefully the stream is still working. It's different to this computer, so to whoever's watching the stream, you'll be seeing slightly different, but Lewis is going to try and keep it matching what I'm doing on here. So what I'm going to do is you might be wondering, well, this information is great, but what am I going to do with that? Because I want to win. And also, yeah, what are the prizes? I don't know if we've actually formally announced what the prizes are going to be. So there's a $1,000 pool. So I believe first prize is like, what was it again? I think it was like $450, $350, $250, or something like that, which adds to 1,000. So there's about $1,000 up for grabs. So definitely worth your time. I remembered it's 600, 250, 150. Pretty sure that's the distribution. So that's the prizes that you're competing for. And so you go, how do I win? How do I code this? Well, it'll be very similar to last year to some degree. As you can see, there's some key changes. One of the things that people didn't quite take advantage of last year was probably Goober Eats. You can make more money on that. So keep in mind, if you can solve this one, that's a pretty big piece of the puzzle. You can make a lot of money on it, but there's a way to make like optimal money on it. So that's a pretty tricky one. But for the beginners out there, I would definitely make sure you're capitalizing on UQ dollar. And so, of course, like something like this, it's roughly going to be around $100. So essentially, if it's not $100, if it's below 100, you want to be buying it. And if it's above 100, you want to be selling it. And so this is kind of like one of the beginner-friendly concepts of, I suppose, like the general gist of market making. Not exactly, but you know, you've got a price in mind, which is $100. And if the price isn't at that price, how are you going to trade it, right? So that's the basis of all of the different instruments. But for something like UQ dollar, it's a very clear relationship there. Obviously, with some things, it gets a little bit more tricky as to how you might price this. And be warned, just because it's going down, you know, past performance isn't indicative of, you know, future results or whatever the saying is. But for something like fintech token, don't just think it's going down. You've got to take advantage of these trends here. I mean, there's clear trends, right? When it's in one area, it tends to stay there, and when it moves, it tends to move. So keep in mind that, right? Like, these aren't going to be directional instruments. These actually have real trends, even if they look like noise. And so I'd like to just clarify for those that didn't participate last year, there is a relationship between, I'll read through this document at your own time. So as you may presume, raw chicken and secret spices are linked together. Those two aren't linked, but I suppose, where is it? Fried chicken. Well, we all know that fried chicken is comprised of chicken and spices. So there is, a relationship there. And for those, more technically inclined, as I was saying earlier about the Goober Eats, there is somewhat a relationship between the Goober Eats and the fried chicken. And the link there is that the guy that works at the restaurant that cooks the chicken also does Goober Eats delivery. So there's kind of a relationship there in this theoretical world. So definitely explore that if you get time to. So let's look at what's actually in the GitHub. So we've had a quick look at it as presented just before, so that was excellent. But so this is like all the information you'll see there about what's in the repository. You'll see your competition documents, which is any informative documents, and the trader interface. The trader interface is what you're going to edit. So the simulation, don't change, because we're going to be marking you on the exact same simulation. So don't touch the simulation. You can if you want to enhance your own metrics. Like if you don't like the way that we've plotted things, you feel free to change the simulation so you can get better plots. But don't change the simulation to get better performance, because we're not going to be marking you on your simulation. We're marking you on the original simulation. We're not, so what you should really be editing and what you're submitting this algorithm.py file. And so this is a sample that you are provided. So let's just run through what this does for those that may not know. And I know a lot of you are experienced coders, but for those of you which might not be, let's, I guess, take a look at what does this mean? So when you're in the simulation is effectively calling your algorithm every day and providing it with all the historical data up until that point. So if it's going to call your algorithm, let's say it's day 5, it'll call your algorithm on day 5, and it'll have a variable set, and then that variable will contain the price histories of every day up until day 5 for you to access. So let's see what that looks like. So in your algorithm class here, you've got some data, and you've got position limits, because there are position limits for each tradable instrument. So particular things, you might not be able to have more than a certain amount of that. And so essentially here, a basic functionality might be that I want to, so what this code does, this sample code does, is that from day 2 onwards, if the price of something has dropped, so if the price of something has gone down, then I want to buy it, and if the price of something has gone up, then I want to sell it, which isn't always true, but let's just say for UQ dollar that it's normally going to be around some sort of value, which is 100. So if it's gone up, it's probably going to be coming down. So normally when it goes up, I want to sell it. Normally if it goes down, I want to be buying it, right? And so how do we do that? So between these comments I've put in, you can kind of see what I've done. So I'm just printing, it'll say when you're starting the day, so it's starting the algorithm for that particular day. You don't need to do that. And you're essentially setting some instruments. Let's say you're saying, I want to trade the UQ dollar. So 4 instruments in trade instruments. So you're specifying, you could have a list of all the different instruments you want to trade. It's just saying this here, this little segment, is just saying for every instrument in this list, I want to know its price. So it'll just print it out for you so you can see it in your terminal if you're interested. And that'll print the price of all your instruments here. So it'll be printing UQ dollar every day, showing you its price historically when it runs the simulation. And then here, so in the, this is the trading logic, for example. So it's essentially saying if the day is greater than or equal to 2, because you can't trade on the first day with this algorithm because it's got no day prior to look to. So it waits until the second day where it can then look back on the first day, and it's saying for every instrument that I want to trade, which in this case is just UQ dollar, if the second last day, which is the -2, second last, is higher than the last day, the current day I should say, that's essentially saying if the price has gone down, that's what that's saying, then I want to set my position of that instrument to the maximum amount possible for that instrument, which is essentially saying buy it as much as I can. However, for some reason the code has set it to 0. So we'll remove that line of code. But that line wouldn't be there in theory. And then we're in the else here, where the desired position, so otherwise you'd take a negative position, so you'd be selling it. So we'll update that sample code, but it gives you a general idea of kind of how you can interact with the simulation. And so the main thing being, I've already implemented a function which you can use. So let's say get position. I want to know what, that's get position is what is being run. That's where your algorithm is being called. So it's going to call get positions, and you have to be returning the position of every instrument. So if you're not, so let's say there's all the instruments. Let's say there's 10 instruments. I can't remember exactly how many there are because we've got a few more now. So let's say there was 10. If you don't want to do any trades, you have to enter all your last positions. Because if you returned like 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, like a dictionary of all of them being 0, what that's going to do is it's going to tell the simulation, oh, he wants to have no positions in anything. So you have to be telling it what position you want to have on the, at the end of this day. What's the new position you want to have in each thing? How many of each thing do you want? And so that's essentially, that's that. And if you wanted to get the current price, let's say, of an instrument, you could use a function like this, like I've implemented. So you could say, get the current price of an instrument. So you provide it your instrument. So that would be called UQ dollar. And then it would do the self.data for that instrument, and then take the -1 of that, which is the last element of that, so the latest price. So you'll always be able to see all of the prices up until the current day. So if you're on the 10th day, you're able to see 10 days of price history. And so you should be outputting this function is what we're marking on, this get position. It needs to be able to take on any given day and solve for the new positions. And then those new positions that you want, whether it be 0 in everything or 100 of everything, that goes into the simulation and we process those orders for you. And then it will output one of the graphs, as you would have seen in the spec sheets. So let's see in the documentation. So in the documents here, you would be able to see, general. When you run this, it'll output something like this. Right? This is from like last year's. And it'll output you this graph here, which will be your cumulative like profit and loss. That's kind of like your total, whether you've made or lost money. And then you'll have something like this, which will show you where it came from. So was it thrifted jeans last year that made you money, or was it maybe in this instance, the two things that made this person money was thrifted jeans and fintech token. And you can see the corresponding amount they made on each. It'll also tell you in the console of your simulation. This is your position of the instruments, and it kind of shows you where you're buying or selling. So 100 means you were 100% buying that position limit, and then down there means you were completely selling it. And so this is actually a little outdated. The latest one doesn't have this thing here. It instead here has a total position limit. So there's a total position value, which essentially you can't exceed. So you've got to essentially utilize your funds wisely, and you'll see the more things you start to trade, the more your portfolio, I guess, will start to cap out, and you'll essentially be trying to have a line all along the top of this graph. It'll be a different graph though. And if you want to have a better idea of kind of how to solve these problems or what a solution would look like, I encourage you to go to the YouTube channel, and you'll be able to see last year's finalists talk about what they did, and also last year's launch event. So the launch and the presentation both recorded and are on YouTube. So you'll be able to see those at your own discretion. Just go to the YouTube channel, take a look at those. They're only about like 30 minutes each, and they're really informative, I suppose, if you're interested more about that. And we'll be running the sessions, of course, tomorrow and on Sunday if you're interested in finding out about, like if you're a bit new to coding and you're interested in kind of learning, how do I make a couple dollars on this kind of algorithm? So we'll go over that for you. Yeah, so that'll be good. And I'll just quickly show you the documentation of the README for those that haven't kind of run anything in Python before. It's a bit basic, but what you need to do is you need to install, of course, Python. And then in the command line, you're going to want to be kind of following these steps. So you might want to run a Python virtual environment or a Conda virtual environment. You can Google these. We encourage using a virtual environment, but you don't need to. You can just install these on your computer without a virtual environment, and it'll probably work fine because it's only going to be pandas, NumPy, and matplotlib. So you're able to use some more, but you need to get them approved if you're using different ones. And so no insane optimizers like Gurobi. So like mathematical optimizers, not allowed. But if you're implementing like your own optimizer, that's like fine. But if you're just like re-implementing Gurobi or something like that, that's not really ideal. But also, it's very unlikely unless you're really experienced at using those tools that'll probably be better. Like you're going to have to be pretty experienced regardless, because some of the tools Gurobi might not pick up on unless you're really good. So basically, yeah, most libraries will be fine, but you have to get them approved. These ones are required for the code to run. So if you haven't been able to do this command, your code won't run. And then to run it, you're of course running Python simulation.py, and that will run it, and it will show you outputs of, I suppose, what you did. And you can take a look at those on last year's finalists. You can see kind of like all what the outputs look like. But once you get the code running, it'll all be there. It'll output plots for you to look at and interact with and kind of see how much money you earned. I think that covers everything I was thinking of. I'm going to ask for some quick questions. How are we doing for time? 6:37. If anyone hasn't had pizza and wants pizza, you feel free to get more pizza. Any questions regarding absolutely anything? Or are we good? Yeah, question?
Yeah, so when we run the simulation, will it give sort of what you showed us in the PDF before? Or like what will it give us?
Yeah. You know what? I will run it. And the way I will run it is I will have to steal my computer from the live stream, which will keep going while I take it. And then I'll plug that in, and I will show you what it will look like. So I'll unplug this, much to the dismay of the live stream. It's going to maybe complain that camera's been unplugged. Now, and the reason I'm doing this is because this computer's streaming, but it's different to the screen over here. So if I show you something down here, then the people on the stream can't see it. So what was that, sorry?
Zoom in a bit so you can see better.
Oh, of like what's on the computer?
Code, yeah.
Yep. No worries. Testing. Yeah, that's good. Oh, great. My screen is on there. Very good, very good. You guys want to see what the stream looks like? Oh. I'll bring that back over here, and I'll get the stream fixed, because I will need desktop capture, display capture. Yep. I will put it on to actually, I'll display capture this one. And I'll put this on top of it. This one with the webcam. All right. Excellent. All right. The live stream has been updated to be what you guys are seeing. So now I'll make you guys all see the right thing. So what you're going to have, so I'll bring this across. We've got some code, public code, that's what we want. So let's say your simulation and your algorithm. Very good. And so let's say I've got I've just got to make sure I'm not leaking any of the wrong things to you guys. Yeah, this is also safe to view. Yeah, that's fine. So let's see down here. That's getting retconned. That never happened there. There we go. That's very good. Yeah. So we'll just say, that's not to worry. Yep. And we'll just say, all right, so we'll run it. We will open this in repository. This is a bit of a trick, to be honest. So if you have some of you might know this already. If you go in here and you want to run like command prompt or something, you can just type it in and run it, and it will open command prompt. Well, it would if it worked, but it didn't work. So I'll run that again. Yeah, okay, there we go. So you'll have your window. Let's say you've got your console. So you can run your Python, and you want to run the simulation. This is after you've installed those things as per the instruction guide. And so when you run the simulation, what's going to happen is, it's going to run it. It'll run it, or you'll get to see how I fix the problems with it. Yeah, so if you run it, right, so this is the algorithm. So this is okay, that's the graph. So once it's finished, it will show you a graph. Let's see if I can get that to fit the window better. All right, so this is what I was talking about. It's got a lot of things here now, so this is just a window thing. It won't actually look that funny. But let's say, it's because this is a weird resolution. You're able to click these on and off, by the way. Not everyone knows that. You can click it and it'll go away and appear. This is what you'll get. So you'll get a simulated window here. This will be showing you your total profit. So let's say this algorithm here, it's made us around $80,000 in total. And you can see that 79,917, that's how much money you've made on this so far. This window here is going to be obviously showing you where it came from. Because we've only traded one thing in this algorithm, it's the same in both graphs. And here, this is your percentage of daily limit used. So you can see here, this token has only used around about 15% of the total daily limit. So if you trade this and a few other instruments, you've got plenty of room there. But you can't necessarily trade all of these different ones without it hitting 100%. You'll quickly find out these will eat up that percentage used. So you've got to be careful where you're spending, I guess, your time and your money. So you want to be trading things optimally. When something's going to have a big move, that's when you're going to want to be using it, I guess, right? So this is the output which you will see. And it'll look better on your computer. It's just because this is like a small resolution. So yeah, that's essentially what you'll see. And then in the console, you'll be able to see the information from it. So let's put that next to my algorithm. So, go away. So let's see here, I've said, so when the algorithm's getting run, it's going to say starting algorithm, ending algorithm when it's ended. So you can see that for every day, the simulation runs every day differently. So let's say here, it starts at here. So it's starting it, it's day 354. The price of UQ dollar on that day is 123, as I'm asking it to do that here. And then it does this algorithm, executes, it submits what orders that it wants, and then ends for the day. And then the simulation will calculate whether or not you made money on that day. And so you can see that on this day, the total P&L is 78,871, which is in fact more than it was here. So on that day, you can conclude that you made, what's that? Like 26 bucks or something, right? So that is essentially, you can look through and you can debug your code because the simulation will output this, but then at the end of the simulation, it will also give a little bit of a summary, kind of recapping what you would have seen on that graph. Obviously, we're going to be marking on you on who makes the most money, and the reason for that being is because in order to make the most money, you're going to have to utilize your capital as effectively as possible, because there's that like daily limit. Does that kind of answer your question, hopefully, sort of? That's what will happen when you run the code. Yep, good, thumbs up, thumbs down. Any other questions? Or is that, yep?
Clearly the next 365 days are related, but I'm guessing it's one-to-one, as in the last 20 days of the 365 given map directly to the first 20 days prior to the done.
Yes, yes. So that's a good question. So essentially the question is that this is the first 365 days. The next data will also be 365 days because it's a year. So the second year continues on from this data. So you are allowed to essentially save some data in your code, just like have a big long list of all the past values if you want, whatever you want. And you can, so let's say you want to calculate a moving average. Rather than spend the first 20 days of the unseen code, because we're testing you on unseen code, rather than calculating those values you need for your algorithm and taking up that first 20 days of the new data set, why not just give it some of the data from this existing data set? Because this data we're giving you is the first 365 days. The next data set, the next year, follows on from this. So if you need to give it some data from this data set so that when we test you, it continues on, that's perfectly fine to do so. And you can test that. You could get this data we give you, split this data in half, and then see if you can apply it to that and see if it works on both halves independently. So does that kind of answer your questions? Like you can do that, yeah. Any other questions quickly? Otherwise, come in on the weekend or send us an email. Oh yeah, team formation. When you make your submission, email your team in, or if you want to secure your team, like who they are, email it through now. It's all on the documents where you send that to. So send that through as soon as you would like, but as long as you send it in on your submission and say, I'm this team submitting on behalf of this team, or I'm independent. Yep, and give yourself a team name as well when you submit. That'll be good. Yeah, so any questions? We'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All good? Righto, thanks everyone for coming. Good luck with the competition. See some of you on the weekend possibly. And yeah, I'd love to see you all at the presentations. I'll be a little late to the presentations, I got a midterm, but oh yeah, one question. What was that, sorry? How are people ranked? Completely based off that total P&L. Ranking is completely based off the total amount of money you make. And the reason for that is because there is a total position limit. So essentially, like if you're not using your position wisely, you won't be able to win. So yeah, it's about making the most money. You basically, yeah. The data is, it would be you basically can't win randomly. So like you will have to actually, on average, be beating them. Yeah, but we normally show Sharpe ratio and stuff as well in the presentation. But like it doesn't end up really mattering. The people with a higher Sharpe ratio score higher. Yeah, cool.
I just had a question.
Yeah.
My name's John, by the way.
Yeah, I'll meet you, Max.
Nice to meet you. For someone who has like no finance knowledge.
Yeah. No finance. Oh yeah, no, that's kind of beneficial possibly. Yeah.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah.
What
I'd say
is,
you'd do better than the other way around, yeah.
Wow, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to hear, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you, especially from last year, do you have any general tips?
Yeah.
To try to, win as much
I
as
definitely say like when you're just give the sheet a read, like the one that has kind of a bit of info about each thing. And when you can look at it, like if you can visually see it, also look up an analysis tech. So some of them you can visually see, right? So if it's like a straight line, it's got noise around it, you can visually see that. You can say it's a straight line with noise around it. So I'm going to assume it's a straight line, and I'm going to trade the noise because you can see that, and it's simple, right? Let's say like UQ dollar, you can see it's flat with noise, right? But let's say something like some of the other ones, they're a bit more complex. Like you can't actually like look at it and see what it means. So if you were, let's say like the Goober Eats, it was kind of going everywhere. You're going to need to use some more like advanced techniques, which like are non-visual. Like you're going to have to run scripts over that data that you make in Python. So like you're going to have to make some Python scripts with like particular analysis methods. Maybe like look at correlations or look at, I can't say, because if I say like you just do that technique and then you can see it. But like there are things you can run to essentially with confidence say this is occurring or this isn't occurring in that data.
Gotcha.
That's for the ones you can't see. You can definitely probably get like top 10 people if you're like just perfectly trading all the ones you can see.
If you just overfit.
You can't overfit.
No,
Yeah.
Because I know last year that unknown data and the known data, so clearly you can overfit on the known data, but then what's
Yeah.
the point?
Yes, you could overfit on the known data, as in like you could make it really like strict to the data that you have. But it won't translate to the second round. Like it's very unlikely if you've overfitted that you'll profit in the second round. Like, and that's what I was saying. Like, a pretty decent test on most of these instruments would just be split the data we give you in half and make sure it works independently on both of those, on the first and the second. If it doesn't work on the first and the second of the data we give you, probably isn't going to be that great of an algorithm.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, cool. Hope that answers your question. Any other questions?
Yeah, with optimization,
Yeah.
we need to write our own like optimizers, like be that
Optimizers.
evolutionary.
Yeah, you can. You can.
100%, but we can't use the SciPy.
You can use SciPy and the gradient descent optimizers.
Yeah.
One of the guys did that last year. Didn't win though.
Right.
So it is good. I definitely encourage it, but like with the optimizers, like the optimizer doesn't know everything.
No, we'll call it, yeah.
So that's
Well,
the
yeah,
only.
plus two, depending on
So
what you're using it for,
yeah.
optimizing.
So some of the correlations, right? It might be able to like optimize the correlation, but like it might not be aware of like time related things. Let's say there's like seasonal things that happen within the data. The optimizer unfortunately doesn't know about that because it might only happen once in the whole data set. And you have to be assuming that it is in fact going to happen again in the second data set. Optimizer's not going to know because it only happened once in the first data. Because like let's say you've got something which goes like up and then down like a sine wave. It's got all noise around it. And you've got two of those, let's say. Optimizer's going to learn like, oh, it always just hangs around this general pattern.
Well, plus depends what you're optimizing to. Like,
Yeah.
Like indicators. Or
Yeah.
you're optimizing. It's different.
But
optimizing
generally
price.
speaking, it's going to fit. It's going to fit well, but it might not be aware of the bigger picture. So like the fact that it's going up and down, so it's going up and then down and then up. The optimizer might kind of forget about that because it's optimizing for profit. Most profit's just coming from trading the noise. It might actually end up completely forgetting about some of the big and easy stuff. So you can't be solely dependent on optimizers. But like,
Or if you're optimizing the like total P&L, then you do it anyway.
yeah. So like definitely optimizers are a good strategy. People have used them with great effect. So I encourage you to use optimizers, but be aware that just an optimizer probably won't give you an optimal output. Yeah.
Just a question. So you talked about something like Groby not being allowed. I'm
Yeah.
just clarifying, does that mean it's not allowed at runtime, but we're still allowed to use it for like data analysis?
Like you can technically use it for data analysis, yeah, if you wish, yeah, that's fine.
It's just like
Like at the end of the day, at the end of the
libraries that you can include at the top.
yeah, that's fine, yeah, because at the end of the day, I can't tell.
Yeah.
So it's like it's just that for the submission, it can't
Yeah, you
contain
can't
anything like
include
that.
Groby at the top.
Yeah, and it can't have any obviously like.
Massive CSV of just
Well, a massive CSV is fine, but it may be subject to like customized judging depending on how OP it was. Like let's say like you completely reverse engineer the random seeds and then you do something like that. Then like we might be like we have to mark you a little bit differently because you just essentially got the answers. But like that shouldn't be a trivial task. So for all intents and purposes, what you said is fine.
Is that an issue like,
Yeah.
if you reverse engineer?
It's not like an issue, but like you're probably not going to be judged with the other people, if that makes sense. So it's like you might still get like if you somehow manage to predict all the future prices exactly because you reverse engineered the random algorithm, which shouldn't be possible. But if you somehow did that,
But even if you did, how would you be able to tell just looking through the code?
oh, because your codes would be like if you were able to reverse engineer the random seed, you would have the exact
Oh, like at this date, do this.
yes, you would have exact solutions. So we'd be able to know. because we'd compare it to an exact solution, and we'd be like, you're at 99.99% of the exact solution. So you'll probably have reverse engineered the thing. But it's also not simple and shouldn't be very possible. So I would encourage just don't even spend the time on it. Like the amount of time that it would take you to do that would be the same amount of time it would take you to just like win normally. So, because like you can do that in lots of different competitions, but people never bother doing it. It's not really worth, not really worth it. It's easy just to solve the problems, yeah.
So for first timers, we just watch the YouTube video.
I'd definitely see kind of what people have done in the past. I'd also just like try to understand what's happening in the code, understand what the simulation is doing, and modify the example code, try to make a little bit more money, slowly build up your instruments. Easiest instrument to hardest instrument, and build up, basically, right? Because you'll get more comfortable with what you're doing.
Also for the limits.
And you can ask ChatGPT questions as well. Be aware that it might get confused, like, because ours is a custom simulation, it might get a bit confused of like, oh, you're saying something. Yeah, like it might start thinking about orders, or it might start be thinking about techniques, which probably might not apply to our simulation because our simulation is kind of custom. It's not that special, but it's just different to what ChatGPT might expect. So even if you're giving it both bits of information, I've found that if I've just given it and asked it stuff, it's not super good. Like it definitely can solve you stuff, but if you're trying to win, like it's not gonna work. Yeah, because like the harder ones, like the Uber Eats and stuff, like if you're trying to flawless it, it's not so much about volatility. It's just about like the actual relationship. Like you're still gonna have to implement a bunch of stuff relatively manually, even if you're using ChatGPT. So it's gonna like say you're gonna have to run this script because ChatGPT doesn't know if inherent trends exist. If you're able to tell ChatGPT, oh, it's got this particular feature about it that happens every whatever, and this thing happens about it, and every time this happens, something else happens. And then ChatGPT was able to go, oh, okay, I'll make an algorithm that solves that. But ChatGPT doesn't know that. So even if you're using ChatGPT, it's going to say, okay, you have to test it for this, and you're going to have to do a code, run everything over it, and it's going to say, that didn't work, okay, test it for this, do another thing, test it. Like, you're still going to have to do lots of manual iterations, because like, unfortunately, ChatGPT can't comprehend all of it at the same time.
Right.
So like, definitely use it to ask questions and stuff about stuff, like what tactics can I use, what can I do about this, or blah, 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 like definitely. But it won't be able to do like you won't win using ChatGPT, but it'll be able to help you like get started, and then probably give you a basis so you actually know what you're doing, so then you can build it up.
Okay.
Yeah. So
one last thing.
Yeah.
With the position limits, I noticed like everything has a different metric.
Yeah.
So there'll be like 30,000 fintech tokens.
Yeah.
Or like 400 fried chickens.
Some of them more profitable than others, right?
Okay.
So we've tried to make it so that the harder it is, the more profitable it is, so that we're benefiting people like people that are putting more effort into a particular solution will be rewarded more by that, right? So like a harder solution gives you more profits. And also, not only that, in order to make that worthwhile, we have position limits, so that easy solutions are going to use a bigger, chunkier position limit. So like harder solutions are going to be less position limit intensive. So it means that you can do those while doing lots of other things. So it's essentially, the reason the position limits are all different is because if some of them were too high or too low, one thing would make $3 billion and the other ones would make like $2. So the position limits make sure they all are in a similar realm of how much you can make.
Right.
And also it keeps it somewhat realistic. Because realistically, there's only a finite number of things you can buy in the real market as well. So you need to consider that you can't just buy everything. Yeah.
True. Okay, we'll see Monday, right?
Yeah.
Monday.
All good. Couple of days. Hopefully helps. Yep.
Thank
All
you,
good.
Max.
Yeah. No. Good luck. Nice to meet you. Yeah.
Nav.
Thanks. Nav. Yep. Good luck with it. Send any emails, any questions, everything.
My apologies for the mad fumble.
No, it's all good. I'm just gonna quickly. Thanks for wait. I didn't actually. I was hoping that. Hold on. Come look at this. You can be on the. I didn't actually use. I think I only used this once. I had a Look at this.
Your whole OBS setup.
Hello stream. Thank you for watching.
If anyone's still here, that's pretty impressive.
Oh wait, they can't hear me.
Oh no.
Oh wait, no, I think they can hear me. They can hear me. I don't know what they can hear me through. Oh, they can hear me through this mic. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Good luck on the competition. Hit us up.